Without a doubt, my favourite genre of games are stealth games. Infiltration unrecognised by the target is so satisfying. Moving into a facility or area you shouldn't be, whether it's by utilising the shadows or hiding in plain sight, and doing it in my own time provokes a feeling inside me I can't quite explain. So as a fan of games where my objectives are covert operations, stealth assassinations, or anything ending in ations, I regularly look up which other titles could fulfill the criteria, new and old. Upon googling stealth games, disappointingly you would be met with a few expected results. The big hitters such as Splinter Cell, Hitman and Metal Gear Solid, but with little scrolling you realise that the landscape for games centred around stealth is limited. There are many games that include stealth elements, however they are not fit to exercise proper stealth operations. Mechanically, these games don't adhere correctly to what is required in stealth. For example, NPCs in
Far Cry 5
will not be treated with the same care or mechanics that of an NPC in Splinter Cell. This is crucial for a more realistic and satisfying stealth experience, as navigating an enemy-filled area with guards whose detection abilities are designed to function across an entire game where explosive combat is forefront results in frustration for players who know that motherfucker wouldn't have seen them. But because your arse cheeks were an inch exposed from the barricade, the in-game mechanics detect you. Also on the list is Ghost Recon Wildlands. This game does offer opportunities for stealth, even its follow-up game Ghost Recon Breakpoint adding the ability to smear your body with mud as camouflage. With this, you would think the game mechanics would cater towards a more tactical, stealth-oriented experience, but that's not the case. With the option to also go loud combined with the clunky flow of the games, it's hard to include these Ghost Recon titles in the stealth category. Or perhaps this says more about Ubisoft, given that Assassin's Creed also strays further from this category with each release, yet the series is best known for things like The Hidden Blade, slick assassins and careful infiltration. The series is dubbed as stealth action, yet its truth is perfectly encapsulated by this article that reads, "The series has always projected the illusion of stealth without really embodying it at all in its core." So, my condolences Assassin's Creed, but it doesn't feel right that we invite you to the stealth sleepover. Now, with two more major franchises removed from our list of games people consider as stealth, the question this video title poses becomes all the more capitalised in bold text. What happened to stealth games? Let's focus on the game series that does embody the features we're looking for. Splinter Cell. Somebody mentioned stealth games, this series probably manoeuvres its way into almost everyone's minds. The earlier titles like Chaos Theory, which a lot of people consider to be the best offering of the series, provide you with the accurate mechanics and atmosphere for stealth. When you're moving through the dark shadows, you're in the fucking dark. The patrolmen, while short in numbers compared to, say, a Far Cry outpost with 10 plus ops to shank, are tough to evade, forcing you to improve your tactical approach, boosting the satisfaction of reaching the next checkpoint. The locations are well designed and layered with levels to them. Like you've just entered an unfamiliar landscape, they can feel dangerous and your objective carries weight. And nothing gets me going more than the boot up noise for the night vision goggles. This takes us to Splinter Cell, Conviction and Blacklist, the newest entries in the series that didn't quite prolong the positive qualities of its predecessors, venturing into action set pieces and an overall tonal shift. These games are still kinda cool, to be honest, and while I definitely missed the vibe of the older games, sincerely these were better than nothing, and the stealth elements at their cores were still present. And it would seem that a lot of people agree, while also a number of people disregard these entries as anywhere near the level of polish the older ones possess. And that's fine. Or maybe not, because due to failure of meeting Cell's expectations, peaking at around 2 million copies sold, Blacklist stands as the final game released in the franchise to date. 11 years later. Do you know how many things have taken place in 11 years? 2 console generations have passed, 12 Call of Duties have come out. Fortnite was birthed, played and rinsed for all it's worth within this time period, and a myriad of its copycats. And they couldn't squeeze out one little Splinter Cell game. They couldn't have just culled one out for us. In over a decade, the Splinter Cell water tap has been dry, us fans just hoping to see even a drop. I get it, the gaming industry is a huge money maker and it truly is all about the dough. If something doesn't sell well and allow them to smell the profit from the money well, us fans would need a magic spell to get a new Splinter Cell. Aside from the financial aspect, I was pondering the other potential reasons for them not picking up the franchise again. With microtransactions appearing in everything, maybe they just aren't confident in how they could be included and more profit could be edged out, given that Splinter Cell is more of a single player experience. They can't quite throw in a battle royale, although let's imagine that for a moment. 100-player free-for-all, where the components of the map are geared towards stealth. Spitballing ideas like this with mates is what sometimes riles me up even more. If a couple of randies like us can drum up a few ideas that instantly make me wish they were part of a game, then surely the execs behind these titles can find someone who also can. That's not to say the stealth battle royale is an idea that I want, it just exemplifies my point that there is a lot of room to play with ideas when it comes to this series. Hell, take a couple minutes and comment any idea, big or small, that you think could make Splinter Cell even cooler. Or any stealth game for that matter. I bet you'll have at least one idea that sounds dope and probably could be executed in a game. This video shouldn't be transformed into one centered just on Splinter Cell. I wanted to emphasize the wasteland that is the stealth genre of games. We've had a few series brewing over the years, some with a consistent spot in the market like Hitman, whose games have increased in popularity with each release. Metal Gear Solid, with the upcoming Delta, a remake of 3 that looks promising, and some others over the last decade like the Dishonored games that get a lot of praise for the ability to opt for stealth. Stealth aspects can be seen in various games like the Watch Dogs series and the Far Cry series, the more recent Ghost of Tsushima and the beloved Batman Arkham series. In 2014, Thief 4 hit store shelves and failed to make its mark as intended, supposedly not living up to its earlier games and garnering a lot of hate. Cyberpunk has apparently got various ways in which players can progress covertly, the Deus Ex games too. But I'm not trying to derail the subject of this video by listing a bunch of actual stealth games. My point stands that stealth games have seemingly vanished. Yet I'm highlighting that stealth is sneaking its way into many a game, but as an afterthought or addition that isn't properly nurtured. Crouch, hide in bush, wait for enemy to pass, kill enemy, progress. It proves that game studios realise people do enjoy having the option for stealth, but won't fully commit to a game focused on it. A Reddit user makes an interesting point. Why make an excellent stealth game that will only sell 1.5 million copies when you can make a generic action game that will sell 4 million? Are we really just a smaller minority of players who want this? I mean bruh, at least give it a try. Drop something. Drop Conviction 2 if you have to. Maybe it won't even be worth it. Maybe they would never put the right effort and time into a stealth game to deliver what we're actually after. I mean shit, the gaming landscape has changed so much since the last Splinter Cell release. There were rumours circulating about a new game in the series, but that was around 2021, I believe, 3 years ago, and it's been dead silent ever since. I even read of a Splinter Cell movie adaptation. After all this time, boy do they know what we want. Why play as Sam Fisher when instead you can watch Ryan Gosling play as him? We're in an age of remakes and reboots, and I did hear of a Splinter Cell remaster of the first game said to be in development, which once again, we'll take what we can get. But what about everything else? Where are the new and original games? The answer to the question of the video can be looked at in many ways. Personally, I like to simplify things, and I can't help but assume money is the main reason. Studios want that next biggest game, that cash cow that draws in the largest wealth of customers. Stealth games are probably not that. Still, I will keep my fingers crossed for something to creep out of the shadows and surprise me. Please do suggest me any stealth games worth playing, and thank you for watching. Consider the subscribe button as your primary objective. Press it.